MBA का बहुत buzz है market में, and what students keep on asking me is it even worth doing an MBA from tier 2 या फिर tier 3 sort of a B school?
The top old IIMs have a lot of connection,
That's
right?
legacy, yeah.
But then if there is an IIM in a place where there is no industry, tell me what opportunity they will get. Perception
Right.
cannot be denied, right?
Right.
Like fortunately ISME's perception is that we are high tier 2. Can I claim that out of these 5 things in some of the cases we are tier 1? Yes, we are. But overall the perception is today high tier 2.
Understood.
So a student has to select and see कि ना in 5 चीजों में where we are falling, and you will then realize that there are good B schools in the country today which are tier 2, tier 3, where especially tier 2 B schools which have a huge potential to make a difference in your career.
अगर हम बात करें कि now these people are Gen Zs, mostly youngsters are brand oriented, brand cautious, okay? My straight up question is, anybody who is 22, 23 years old now, अगले 10-15 साल में, 20 साल में, आपको लगता है कि genuinely इनकी कॉलेज का ब्रांड मैटर करेगा? Number one, is it college brand versus individual skill set? सर लॉन्ग टर्म में जब हम करियर करते हैं, when we are like 40, 45, तब क्या मैटर करता है सर?
I would say Carnegie Mellon has probably helped me 2%, right?
Okay.
IIT would have helped me maybe 5%, and I've done my PhD from IIM Lucknow that I have done recently. It might help me 1%, but my cumulative help from the degrees is less than 10%. The 90% of the success comes from how you work.
Exactly.
Right? 2-4 colleges के brand matter still करेंगे.
हाँ वो तो
IIM अहमदाबाद करेगा, IIM बेंगलोर करेगा, कुछ और
FMS रहेगा, एक्सेल रहेगा, डेफिनेटली सर.
उसके बाद नहीं मैटर करेगा.
Hi guys, welcome back to this MBA podcast. This is a director series with Nitin sir. Nitin sir is a founder and director at ISME Bangalore and also an alumni of Carnegie Mellon. Sir, I'm going to ask you some tough questions, okay?
Sure.
And these are all questions I am very sure ये बच्चों के दिमाग में है. And I want you to answer that. सबसे पहले सर, MBA का बहुत buzz है मार्केट में. And what students keep on asking me is it even worth doing an MBA from tier 2 या फिर tier 3 sort of a B school? What's your take on that, sir?
That's a good question. And more than anything else, it's about choosing the right B school in tier 2 and tier 3. Normally in tier 1, and this is what, like I did my MBA from the US, though that was a tier 1 institution.
Yeah.
In tier 1 it becomes simple, right? If you are wanting to do it from Harvard or Stanford or Carnegie Mellon. But once you go down, you have to choose the B school based on other factors, right? And it is very common in the US that people choose education more to do with the fact that what it will give them, right? It is not only the name, which is certainly important, but more than that, it is also about what you're getting. One, in which city the B school is, because let us understand one thing as far as B school is concerned, and jobs are important, right? So the first thing is, does the city have jobs, right? Okay. Because most of the jobs first come to the B schools of that city, right? So Bangalore, as an example, is a city which is one of the very few cities in India which has a net job creator, which is known as a net job creator. In fact, even cities like Pune do not have net job creation today. Yes. So there are only very few. Hyderabad has a net job creation. Okay. So there are very few cities which have a net job creation, where there are more jobs which are getting created than jobs or companies which are closing down. Because we normally hear of jobs which are getting created. Normally we don't hear of jobs where the companies get closed down, and there are a number of companies which close down now because of AI. There is also reduction in jobs. So still Bangalore remains as a net job. That is one point. Which city it is, right? I'm not choosing the city for the students. That is for them to do the analysis, but that is important, right? It cannot just be it is close to my hometown. Okay, it has to be based on where the jobs are as far as the city is concerned. Second important thing is, who are the founders? What is the background of those founders? Because in any B school is also like a business, right? So it is like a institution. It is being run by people. Who are the founders? And the founders are different from the deans and directors at times, right?
Agreed.
So who are the people who are actually owning the business? What are they doing? What is their background? And that becomes very important because the vision is set by them. right? And the third thing is, what is the kind of faculty which are there, and read through their profiles, and also very important, get to know, are they full-time faculty or visiting faculty?
Good,
Right?
I mean,
because ultimately
good point,
you learn maximum from visiting faculty. Full-time faculty.
Yeah.
Yes, visiting faculty.
Yeah.
Every good B school will have, and every good B school will have good visiting faculty. And finally, talk to the students. Talk to the current students, or try to reach out to the current students, and don't reach out to only one or two. You might, there will be always in any B school, there will be one or two students who might not be very satisfied. But reach out to a good number of students, find out kya chal raha hai. Okay, because there is a lot of wrong information which is being given out by B schools, especially in terms of the placement figures and all those things. So it is best to talk to the students, what has been their experience. And you should understand the experience holistically. What has been your learning experience in the classroom? What is your learning experience out of the classroom? What is the experience in getting ready for a job? And what is your experience later on for internships and placements? Don't only ask कि यहाँ placement कैसा होता है. That is ultimately you are doing a B school for doing everything. So your the quality of the questions which when you talk to the students should be holistic. How इनके faculty कैसे हैं, इनके classroom experience कैसा है, out of classroom experience कैसा है, what are the kind of students which come in, from where they are coming in, so everything. And you will then realize that there are good B schools in the country today, which are tier 2, tier 3, where especially tier 2 B schools, which have a huge potential to make a difference in your career.
Okay.
So that is very important.
Okay. But sir, you know, एक perception build हुआ है बच्चों के दिमाग में कि tier 1 से अगर MBA नहीं किया तो career नहीं बनेगा.
Right.
And I want you to advise them on that front.
No,
is this a reality of the market?
I'll clarify first of all what is tier 1, right? And somehow people have tried to feel that tier 1 means IIM is tier 1, some of the other B schools are tier 1. Now IIM, maybe there are like 30 IIMs.
There are 22 IIMs now.
Okay, or 22 IIMs, right? Yes, the top old IIMs have a lot of connection.
That's
right?
legacy, yeah.
But then if there is an IIM in a place where there is no industry, tell me what opportunity they will get.
Okay. I take that
how
point.
So that is one point.
Agreed,
as far as the thing is concerned. As far as the other B schools are also concerned, over a period of time, just like in life, right? Some things start doing better, some things start going down. Right? Reputation is, these are all dynamic things. Okay, right? At one point of time when I was growing up, even in the IT industry, right? Or even in our cell phone industries, we used to buy cell phones which were doing very, very well. Today they are no longer there. Okay, today there are some standard cell phones which will continue to be there, the Apple and Samsungs, which is equivalent to an IIM Bangalore or IIM Ahmedabad. Agreed. But after that, the group keeps moving. Okay, so what was tier 1 10 years back need not be that it is tier 1. Just because somebody, your father tells you something, not necessarily they are updated about the information of what is tier 1. That people are very updated, this generation of students are very updated about the changes in the brands. I might have not heard a brand which now they consider as tier 1. Because as a thing, I will still consider whether it is a clothing brand or a shoe brand or a mobile phone brand. Okay, the brand and the tier 1 keeps changing. Why it changes? Because the older brands might have not adapted to the changes. The newer people adapt. Now, generally, Gen Z is very updated about their clothing brands, about their shoe brands, about their mobile phone brands, and how they are changing, and they are continuing to change change the perception of the brands. Somehow in education, that is not happening. There are very good B schools. Of course, I am leading one, which is doing exceptionally well, right? And ideally, it will. If that thought process changes, okay, we would be classified as tier 1. right? So
Possibly, yeah.
that is what is the that is what has to, one has to get updated about it. More than that, it's about update. Just like Gen Z is getting updated about clothing brands and mobile phone brands, and accordingly making their choices. Okay, they are not blindly going with Samsung. Even today, even Apple is getting into. I know of young folks who are questioning, should I buy Apple, because they are no longer as updated about the AI. Their AI is lagging behind. There are many more brands which are there. So these things keep changing, and this change is something which the newer B schools, some of the good ones, are able to adapt, and some of the older B schools are continuing to do well, and some are not doing well. That clarity should be there. So it's not blindly classifying things in tier 1 and tier 2.
Good. Even just for the information, sir, even Apple is hiring from tier 2 these days.
Yes, and even Apple someday, don't be surprised that in another 8 or 10 years, Apple might find it difficult to classify itself as tier 1.
Right.
Okay, it might, its market share might decrease, right? Because they are not innovating enough. There are other brands which are innovating enough.
True that. Very true.
So what was considered the BMW and Mercedes, in another 10 years, maybe an equivalent BMW and Mercedes in their own language might be coming from China.
Right.
Because innovation is the key. And some of the newer B schools are able to innovate a lot more than some of the what was considered quote unquote tier 1.
Right.
And the second thing which I just mentioned is the location. You might call yourself an IIM from which place you are. I know of IIMs which are not able to place even 50% of the students. And I know of tier 2 institutions, okay, and which are able to place 100% of the students, because they are part of a great system.
We spoke about the classification, right?
Yeah.
Do you really feel कि ये क्लासिफिकेशन होना भी चाहिए टियर 1 टियर 2 टियर 3 बिकॉज होता कैसे है कि बच्चा बोलता है कि केतन सर ये भी स्कूल अच्छा लग रहा है पर पब्लिक इसको टियर 3 बोल रही है एंड आई बिकॉज जेनजीज आर वेरी केयरफुल अबाउट देयर बैकग्राउंड मम्मी पापा क्या बोलेंगे, मेरा जो एक फ्रेंड सर्कल है उनमें मैं कैसे इस बी स्कूल के बारे में बात कर पाऊंगा. सो आपको लगता है कि ये क्लासिफिकेशन भी होना चाहिए? अगर ये नहीं होना चाहिए तो बिकॉज बच्चा बोलेगा कि पापा आई एम ज्वाइनिंग लेट्स से टियर 3 बी स्कूल, तो वो थोड़ा सा हेजिटेट करेगा बिकॉज टियर 2 टॉप फिर भी चल जाएगा. तो माय क्वेश्चन इज, क्या ये क्लासिफिकेशन होना चाहिए? अगर ये होना चाहिए या फिर अगर नहीं भी होना चाहिए तो फिर बच्चों ने क्या पर्सपेक्टिव रखना चाहिए टुवर्ड्स ज्वाइनिंग अ बी स्कूल?
इट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन एंड देयर आर 2 पॉइंट्स आई वुड लाइक टू मेक. One is that as consumers we will always have some perceptions. Okay, right. Reality of perceptions are one thing. Okay. Second thing is that the important thing within making those perceptions should be how do you classify. See, any institution, any educational institution has around 3-4 things which are, and one should classify separately these 3-4 things. One is what is their infrastructure and what is their location. That is the basic.
Very
Second
important.
Is you classify based on how's their faculty. Okay. Third, you classify based on what is their alumni strength and what is their current student strength, right? From where they are coming, what is the quality of those students, what is the quality of their alumni. And fourth is the classification on placements, right? Broadly, these are 4. Then there are sub things like, okay, there is one more. What is the experience within the campus? Like example, is there a hostel on the campus? Okay. What kind of clubs and student activities they have? So I would say that these are 5 broad things. And many times a tier 1 institution might be very good in one thing, might not be good in another 4 things. So that, and in another institution which you theoretically call it tier 2 might be not very good in any of the 5 things, but good in all the 5 things. Now your experience is all the 5 things. It is not only one thing.
Exactly.
Right? And that is something which your answer, how should a person view? One should view कि ये 5 चीजें हैं. Okay, right? Infrastructure and location. faculty, student experience, then placements, and the kind of quality of the students which are there, and the type of variety of students are there. All these 5 things contribute to your experience.
True that.
And all these 5 things should be judged separately by a student, which means the student should do a lot more reading, lot more finding out, and then forming a perception. Perception cannot be denied, right? Like, fortunately, ISME's perception is that we are high tier 2. Okay, right? But can I claim that out of these 5 things, in some of the cases we are tier 1? Yes, we are. But overall the perception is today high tier 2. So a student has to select and seek in 5 चीजों में where we are falling.
And just to add ना, ये 5 चीजें क्यों जरूरी होती है? I mean, this is for students also. Sir, मुझे क्या लगता है ना, if you अगर हम ABC वगैरह देखते हैं, ब्लैकी हो, FMS हो, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, अगर हम देखते हैं टियर 1 में, मुझे लगता है कि वहाँ के बच्चों को अगर कुछ भी ना करा जाए ना, they'll figure out उनको जिंदगी में क्या करना है. Because they're high performer, like top performer.
Yes.
And that's where I think tier 2, tier 3 में ये जो आपने grooming वाला बात किया कि आपकी campus life कैसी है, why it's important to have a hostel on the campus, why it's important to have extracurricular. I think इसकी वजह से क्या होता है ना, as a student आपकी qualitative growth होती है eventually. जो मैंने सिर्फ tier 2 में देखा है.
एक और चीज़ है, right? And by the way, as far as these colleges are concerned, we can't group everybody in one go.
Yeah, we
even
cannot.
Tier 2 also.
Right, we cannot.
In all these 5 things, each one will have a certain strength, and students have to judge on their own. Right. Second thing is, I have always believed, like IITs में क्या हो रहा है?
So bottom of top or top of bottom?
Top of bottom.
Okay.
Top of a certain group of people.
Right.
Or a bottom of a certain group of people. Right. IITs में क्या हो रहा है? There are so many, and it's unfortunate. This is a very bad situation which is happening. There have been nearly a dozen unfortunate suicides, right, of students in IITs. Why? They are finding themselves not to be successful in a very highly competitive space. If they had gone to and which means that they are not getting those support systems, they are not getting the grooming, they are not getting that personal. If they had gone to some other place, they probably would have been top of the next group of players.
Agreed.
They would have succeeded far more. Right?
Agreed.
So that choice also one has to make. See, at the end of the day, you are a 99.9 percentile. Go to IIM, you will do well there. You are motivated, fine.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now you are a 82 percentile, 83 percentile. Okay, right? You are competing with a 99 percentile. कहाँ से compete कर पाओगे? Okay, jobs तो उतनी आएंगी.
Exactly.
Okay, there are these jobs. Every company will come. They will like 10 students. You are the 11th student. Where will you get the job?
Exactly.
Okay, you might as well be 82 percentile in a group where normally the people are from 70 to 85 percentile.
Right.
Or
You'll shine there.
You'll shine there.
Right.
The same
Good
company
point.
might take you because at the end of the day, it is about shining by contrast.
True. Very true.
Okay, so that is another aspect. Besides perceptions, besides these 5 points which I have told, students should look at where they are going to do well, where they are going to shine. Of course, I told one of the things, they should also not seek they are dumb students. They should one of the 5 points I told you was they should see what are the other student groups.
Yeah, peer group matters.
Peer group matters, but the peer group should not be such you are perceiving them to be much higher than you. Why you will get destroyed.
Right.
You might somehow make it inside, but you will get destroyed.
Right. Nitin sir, one question I want to ask. You have built an empire. Okay. You're from tier 1. Okay. Like, अगर हम बात करें कि now these people are Gen Zs, mostly youngsters are brand oriented, brand cautious. Okay. My straight up question is, anybody who is 22, 23 years old now, okay, अगले 10-15 साल में, 20 साल में, आपको लगता है कि genuinely इनकी कॉलेज का ब्रांड मैटर करेगा? नंबर 1, इज इट कॉलेज ब्रांड वर्सेस इंडिविजुअल स्किल सेट? सर, लॉन्ग टर्म में जब हम करियर करते हैं, व्हेन वी आर लाइक 40-45, राइट, तब क्या मैटर करता है सर?
राइट, सी इन दीज टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स वन शुड ऑलवेज ट्राई टू सी व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इन द यूएस, बिकॉज वी हैव फॉलोड अप लार्जली एन एजुकेशनल सिस्टम ऑफ द यूएस. राइट, 2-4 कॉलेजेस के ब्रांड मैटर स्टिल करेंगे.
हाँ, वो तो
IIM अहमदाबाद करेगा, IIM बैंगलोर करेगा, कुछ और
FMS रहेगा, एक्सेल रहेगा, डेफिनेटली सर.
उसके बाद नहीं मैटर करेगा.
आई सेकंड दैट.
यूएस में भी ऐसा ही है. यूएस में तो पहले फ्रॉम इवन 20 years back, even in my time, even 30 years back, right, Harvard and Stanford and MITs have mattered. Okay.
Yeah.
There are some 10 or 12 universities which have mattered. Uske baad nobody bothers. Okay. And by the way, why that matters is also not because of what Harvard gives, but it is because of that network is such
legacy, sir.
And they are also very self-driven. Those people are self-driven. Their choices, like example, Bill Gates is a dropout from Harvard.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Steve Jobs was a dropout from Stanford.
Right.
Okay. Then Facebook founder is a dropout from Harvard. So all these people are dropouts. It is not because of the dropout thing. It is because they were so good that Harvard took them.
And ironically, they were called for the convocation.
Yeah, so Harvard, and Harvard took them, right?
Right.
So the point here is that is one threshold. If you can get through, great. I would not like to give a wrong advice to the students कि वहाँ हो जाए नहीं, don't bother, go there. Okay, but वो कितने हैं? Don't get into the. After that, everybody is the same.
Actually.
Okay.
Actually.
Right. So there are so many IIMs we are talking about who have got established 3, 4, 5, 10 years back. It will not matter.
Exactly.
Okay. And beyond IIMs also, there are so many other colleges. It will not matter. What will matter is one, what is the 5 points which I mentioned. Okay. Besides those 5 points, what is your drive and learning skills as you go along? Because you have to continue to learn. Yeah, because you have to continue to reinvent yourself.
Right.
That one college will not really create a career out of you. It might create the first step of the career, but it will not create a career out.
Right. So one question I'm going to ask you. Okay. As I said, you built an empire, right? So by the way, big shot, but he's very humble to do this podcast and all that, and he connects with students very well. Sir, अभी इतनी journey आपने करी, okay? I mean, straight up question, don't mind. So you're from Carnegie. आपको क्या लगता है, like जिंदगी में आप आज अब जिस लेवल पे हो, is it Carnegie that helped you, or it's your own skill set, your failures, your success stories, your learning has helped you to reach to this level, sir?
So
being very honest with the students,
I would say Carnegie Mellon has probably helped me 2%, right?
Okay.
IIT would have helped me maybe 5%.
Okay.
Right? So my cumulative thing, and I've done my PhD from IIM Lucknow, that I have done recently, it might help me 1%. Okay. But my cumulative help from the degrees is less than 10%. The 90% of the success comes from how you work.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Even when you are there in IITs, I know of so many of my IIT friends, okay, who are not doing well, and so many of them who are doing very well, right? In both cases, IIT has no role to play. If you're not doing well also, IIT has no role to play. If you're doing very well also, IIT has no role to play.
True that.
Right? So the education system helps to an extent of your getting exposed.
Right.
Okay. And you're getting connected. You're becoming knowledgeable about the world. What you do with that knowledge is up to you. At the end of the day, and eventually it is about fighting every day, working hard every day, and that hard work every day has nothing to do with what your college degree was even 2 years back or 15 years back or 20 years back. It has nothing to do with it.
Right. Yeah, I think I appreciate you being so
and
honest
one last thing. In the US there are many colleges who many companies who don't even care about which degree you have or where you graduated from. They care about what you know. So it is more about what you know today, right? So except for this rarefied group of colleges who have ended up being there for certain reasons, beyond that it is all what you know.
What matters at the end of the day is your skill set and how motivated you are to grow in your life. So guys, you can see that all these people are talking.
I'd like to add one more thing, which I have learned in the later. That will happen later in your 40s.
Okay.
When people take the leadership positions.
Okay.
How you deal with people. One is what you know.
Yeah.
Second is how you deal with people.
Right.
Again, and there are a lot of people from very ordinary colleges who are at the top because they know how to deal with people. And there are people who are from very good colleges who don't know how to deal with people. They lose
I
their
have seen
jobs.
that. I have
Right?
seen
So
that.
everybody
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
that. So in
I've seen
40s, a lot of IITians don't have a job, or at least in 50s, because they were very good technically. They were extremely sharp IQ wise, but they did not know how to deal with people. So many of the things is immaterial of many of the successes in life are immaterial of the college.
True that. True that. Perfect. So thank you so very much for giving some time. It was really nice talking to you, and you covered really good pointers. Absolutely humbled, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank you so
pleasure.
much, sir. Same here, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.